Of storms in our northern counties now forecasted to move across the Houston area this evening.
We've seen some damage in some parts of Texas and heavy downpours closer to home. We have our team of meteorologists to see you through this evening. Meteorologist David Paul, meteorologist Tim Pandages, and meteorologist Pat Kavlin are all here. David Paul, you're up first.
Looks likely that storms are going to get just about everybody wet as they sweep across southeast Texas this evening. But for the moment, the tornado watch has been allowed to expire and there's no new severe thunderstorm watch. Good. Straight line winds are probably the greatest severe threat. Pete, a quarter-size hail, also a threat with some of the stronger storms. Right now, it's 85 in Houston. Dew points are near 70. It's not raining yet in Houston, but I think it's going to. And that heat and humidity, all energy that this line of thunderstorms that's feeding on. And you can see how this line has expanded out to the west. That's what's going to move through here as we head to the next several hours. Another section of strong thunderstorms moved across our northern counties, Walker County, Polk San Jacinto County. Now that's exiting, although that's a strong thunderstorm in southern Polk County. The severe thunderstorm warning there has been allowed to expire. And looking inside the storm, we're not seeing any concentrated rotation. I see what appears to be some straight line winds coming out of those strong storms out of Polk County, but that seems to be about the worst of it as far as the winds go right now. Off to the northwest, though, this is a strong line of thunderstorms, especially from Giddings to Somerville to Brenham to Navasota, Singleton, Beat Eyes, and just northwest of Huntsville. So Walker County, it's round 2 for you. And just that line of storms, more than 300 lightning strikes there in the last 10 minutes. So right now, it's the cloud to ground lightning that is one of the greatest severe threats. And that line will race across southeast Texas toward Houston as we head towards 7:30, 8, and 8:57. The estimated time it reaches downtown Houston. Tim Pandages, for the moment, not severe, but it's going to be a bumpy evening across southeast Texas.
Yeah, and David, we're starting to see that change in trajectory of the storm motion moving off to the southeast now. Predominantly earlier, it was off just to the east. Here's a brand new update of our computer model showing that line of storms remaining organized through the 6:30 hour through right about now, and then dropping into the Houston metro area around 8 o'clock. Notice it doesn't decay very much, holds together and sustains itself. As we head towards 9, 10 o'clock, that line starts to break apart a little bit. Still some embedded heavy downpours, gusty winds, and some stronger cells. It makes it towards the coast and then eventually offshore as we approach midnight in the early morning hours of Friday. The rain that's associated with it is welcome, especially in areas along the coast. Could push up towards an inch of rainfall, very beneficial. Everybody's seeing anywhere from a half an inch to up to 2 inches in some of the heavier downpours. Now, the tornado watch was allowed to expire at 6 p.m. Now, that doesn't mean that our threat is gone for tornadoes. We still could expect to see 1 or 2 maybe develop within some of these stronger cells, but our main threat is going to be for some gusty straight line winds that most of the time impact a larger number of people. So keep that in mind as we head on through this evening and into the overnight. There's that line of storms, and our own Pat Kavlin is out traversing the area, and he's headed towards Montgomery. Pat, you're going to meet this line coming on in from the northwest. What's it looking like now?
Yeah, and actually our destination is changing minute by minute. So I know I told you Montgomery about 5 minutes ago, but we're now shifting a little farther towards the west, towards Plantersville. So now we're going to be going into Waller County eventually. So we're kind of weaving our way between Grimes and Montgomery and now eventually into Waller County to put ourselves in the perfect spot for that pretty nasty line that's coming in from Washington County. So a really interesting shot here. You can see heavy rain now starting to fall. We are still in Montgomery County at this time, but again, we are going to try to intercept that feisty storm that's out towards Independence. And of course, whenever we find something, it's going to go on Twitter, Facebook, and probably YouTube as well. Tim?
All right, thank you, Pat. Be safe out there this evening. When the rain's done, the heat's going to build. Look at the weekend forecast. 95 on Saturday, 96 Mother's Day Sunday, and heat index is well over 100 both days of the weekend. So be very careful this hot, humid, summery weekend. This evening, we've got this chance for rain and thunderstorms diminishing after about 11 o'clock. Friday, the heat begins to build to 93. And then again, the weekend is hot for Mother's Day, high in the mid-90s, and heat index is well over 100. We will take a short break and be right back after this.